started learning our measures of center and variation. We're going to start with mean. Can anyone tell me what mean is? Lucille?
The average?
It is. It is the average. Make sure I have your definition exactly how I want it worded. So it is the average of the numbers in a given data set. So it is the average of the numbers in a given data set. So what's a synonym for the word mean, everyone? Average. If you see the word average, you solve it like mean. If you see the word mean, you solve it like average. They mean the same thing. You solve them the same way. To be honest, guys, you will see the word average a lot more in real life than you will the word mean. Is that understood? So just know the older you get, the word average appears a whole lot more than the word mean does. Got it? How do we find the mean? If we go down to the bottom where it says calculate. To calculate, to find the mean, you first do what? Morgan?
You add up all the numbers in the set.
Add all the numbers. Excellent. So the first thing you must do is you must add all of the numbers together in that data set. And then what do we do, Bennett?
Divide by how many numbers are there.
And then you divide by how many numbers there are. So add them all together, divide by the number of numbers you added together. Questions on the mean? Okay, who can tell me what median is? What is the median? Claire?
Don't you
Not how to solve it. What is it?
oh,
Just what is the median?
middle of all the numbers?
Very good. So the median is the middle number in a given data set. Now specifically, guys, what must be done with the set of numbers?
Arrange from least to greatest?
It must be arranged from least to greatest. So when arranged numerically. Which is least to greatest. So a synonym for the word median is what, everyone? Middle. All right, let's go to the bottom. Someone tell me what's the first thing you have to do to find the median. Addison?
You put the numbers from least to greatest.
Excellent. Put the numbers in order. Someone tell me what do I do after I put the numbers in order. Sophie? Good. You'd use your fingers and keep going until you find that number that's in the middle. Same number on the bottom, same number on the top. It has to be even on both sides. Find the middle. So once you've ordered them from least to greatest, find that number that's in the middle. If there are two numbers in the middle, so we could have an odd set of numbers or we could have an even set of numbers. If we have an even set of numbers, there are always going to be two numbers in the middle. What must we do, Dax?
You put the bigger number and the smaller number, and then find what's in the middle, what's in the
Okay, yes, but what else would work? So yes, that method will work. Aubrey?
You add them both together, and then you divide by two.
Absolutely. So add the two numbers And then divide by 2. That method will always work. So I say do that method when the numbers are farther spread apart than you're used to. Like, for instance, if my numbers are 45 and 67, that's a little harder to figure out the number that's in the middle, right? So add them together, divide by 2. If the numbers are easier, let's say I have 18 and 20. What number is in the middle of 18 and 20?
19.
So my middle number is 19. Is that understood? What's in between if I give you 18 and 19? What's in the middle of 18 and 19? 18.5. So this method will always work. It doesn't mean you have to do it every single time. Does that make sense? You're always just finding whatever number is in the middle. Sometimes you'll need to use this method. Sometimes you will not. What if the two numbers are the same? What if it's an 18 and an 18? What's my middle number? 18. Questions? Okay, back up to the top. Range. Who can tell me what does range mean, Eva?
The distance between the largest and the smallest numbers.
Absolutely. I'm going to put the word difference instead of distance. But it is the difference between the highest number and the lowest number in a data set. So it is the difference between the highest number and the lowest number in a data set. If you go back down to the bottom, it says to find the range, you first have to do what? What do I have to do first before I can find the range? What do you think, Claire?
Put the numbers in find the biggest and the lowest number.
First find, and I'm going to label it minimum and maximum, because those are two words we'll use for this entire unit, is minimum and maximum. So find the minimum, which means smallest number, the maximum, which means largest number, and then what do I do? Addison?
Subtract the maximum from the minimum.
Very good. Subtract the minimum from the maximum. Bigger minus smaller. All right, let's go back up to the top when you're ready. We're going to skip interquartile range. We'll come back to that one in a second. Let's go to mode. What's the mode? Who can tell me what the mode is? Isabel? Absolutely. The number which appears most often. I like to say MO mode, MO most. Most and mode go together. Okay, so I have a couple questions for you guys based on mode. If I gave you the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, what's the mode? There is no mode. So your answer for this when they say mode would be no mode. Not 0, because 0 is a number. So don't write 0, write no mode, none, NA, whatever means none. Got it? A number has to appear more than once in order for it to be a mode. It can't just appear one time. Is that clear? Hold on, guys. I'm not even close to being done yet. Okay, what if I gave you same numbers, but I added a 1, a 2, and a 1? What's my mode?
1.
'Cause What's my mode?
1.
A 1. Only a 1 because a 1 appears how many times?
3.
3. And the 2 appears how many times?
Twice.
So the 1 appears more than the 2, therefore the mode is a 1. Does that make sense? What if I added a 2? What's my mode now?
1,
It would be 1 and 2 because they both appear 3 times. Questions? Okay. Now let's go to interquartile range. Okay, this is something that I'm sure most of you haven't heard of before except for probably on Alex. Right? Okay? I believe it was on maybe a couple Alex questions. Interquartile range is the middle 50% of a set of data. So to find the interquartile range, which we will abbreviate IQR, because we don't want to write that out every single time. So the IQR stands for interquartile range. You have to subtract the first quartile from the third quartile. So you subtract the first quartile from the third quartile. Now, obviously, we got to find the first and the third quartile. So the first quartile is the median of the lower set of numbers. And the third quartile is the median of the upper set of numbers. And I'll show you what that means in an example, okay? When you are done writing that down, we do need to do some examples, but obviously we didn't put any in your notebook, so you're going to go to the very next blank page that you have at the very back of this, all these papers that you glued in. So go to the very, very back where you have a blank page. Okay, here we go. I'm flipping, so I hope you're all ready. Okay, label that page MMMR and IQR. That stands for mean, median, mode, range, and interquartile range. I didn't want to write it all out. Okay, I'm going to give you guys an example. And obviously I got to read out these numbers, so write down what I write. So example 1, 23, 87, 19, 34, 87, 81, 5, 14, 126. Goodness gracious. 23, 87, 19, 34, 87, 81, 5, 14, 126. What should your first step always be when doing anything that I've been teaching today? What do you think, guys? Excellent. Your first step should always be to order it. So everyone do that for me, please. Here's my piece of advice when ordering. When you write down a number, guys, cross off that you wrote it down. So write a number, cross it off. Write a number, cross it off. I've seen so many mistakes because people don't order their numbers right because they miss a number or they add an extra number. Mainly, they forget a number. So please write it down, cross it off. I'd rather you be on the side of careful than get it wrong because we don't do that. I'm not forcing you to, just a suggestion, okay? All right, guys, what comes first? What number?
5.
So I'm going to write it down. I'm going to cross it off. What comes next?
14.
Write it down. Cross it off. What comes next?
19.
Next.
23.
Next.
26.
Next.
34.
Next.
81.
81. Make sure you have an 81 there. So if we don't have that 81, it will cause us to have issues. What's next?
87.
Next.
87.
Next.
100.
Ordering your numbers from least to greatest is the most crucial step. Because if you don't get that right, you're going to mess up a lot of stuff down the road, okay? All right. We are going to find the mean. And luckily for you, you get to use your calculator again, so everyone can grab that out. Find the mean for me, please, and thank you. See if you guys got the same answer. Make sure you whisper. All right, what did we get when we added all the numbers together? Added all the numbers together. What? When you added them all together?
Yeah.
Ah, that's why. I forgot a number. That would be why. I was like, what? I did not get that. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, what I want everyone to do is we're going to add one more number. We're going to add the number 37 in. So right here, sneak a little 37 in. And then take your, what was it, 476? Add 37 to that for me. My bad, everyone. Tell me what you get. 513, and then what do we divide by?
11.
Same thing, give me one place after the decimal, so round to the nearest tenth. What do we get? 46.6. Okay. Questions on mean? Find the mode. Whisper it to your partner when you have it. What'd you get, everyone? 87. Nicely done. Find the range. Go. Whisper it to your partner when you have it.
Yeah.
What'd you get, everyone? How'd you get that? Excellent. All right, find the median. Go. Remember, don't forget we added the number 37 into that list, so if you don't take that 37 into play, it will not be correct. Whisper to your partner when you got it. What'd you tell me, everyone?
34.
34. Excellent. All right. Now, here's what you need to do to find your IQR, your interquartile range, is once you have found the median, if the median is in your set of numbers, meaning when you did your finger thing to find that middle number and you were left with that number, circle it, box it in. So if your number is your middle number in the set of numbers that you have, circle it. Then, by circling it, do you see how it gives you a lower set, meaning a smaller set of numbers in terms of like the numbers they are, and an upper set of numbers? So it gives you a lower set, it gives you an upper set by breaking it at the median. The median does not count in your lower and it does not count in your upper, which is why we boxed it in. Then when you have your lower set, to find quartile 1, you find the middle number of the lower set. What's the middle number of the lower set?
19.
So 19 is my first quartile, because it is the middle number of the lower set of numbers. Then I do the exact same thing with the upper set. What's the middle number of the upper set of numbers? So I'm going to circle it, and that's my third quartile. Any questions on how to find the first quartile or the third quartile? Yes?
Why would it be the third quartile if it's only two?
Because the median is the second.
Oh.
Good question. Other questions? Okay, now what do I do? To find the range of the interquartile, we do what? 87 minus 19. Everyone do that for me. Write down your answer. What'd you get? All right. Those are all 5 numbers that you have to find. Any questions so far? Okay, this was obviously one with an odd set of numbers, right, guys? Let's do one with an even set of numbers. So example 2. So this time I'm going to give you 10, 11, 17, 14, 2, 13, 26, and 8. 10, 11, 17, 14, 2, 13, and 26, and 8. What's my first step always, everyone? Good. Everyone order them for me, please. Okay, help me out, guys. What comes first? Next? 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 Good. Most important step is putting them in order from least to greatest. Okay, all I want you to do right now is find the mean, the mode, and the range. Find those 3 numbers. You can work with your partner, and then we will go over them together. Go. All right, guys, what did we get when we added all the numbers together for the mean?
12.6.
Added them all together. What did we get? 101. And what did we divide by?
8.
And what did we get? Piece of advice, always double check your math, right guys? It's so easy to type a number wrong into your calculator. Do it twice. Mode. What's my mode, everyone? No mode. And everyone, what is my range? Because it was 26 minus 2, we get 24. Questions? Okay, find the median. Go. What is it?
12.
What, everyone?
12.
Okay, how did you get 12? Because 12 is not one of my numbers. So what did you do, Leah?
So what we did, we did 11. They did middle of 11 and 13.
So I have 11 and 13 are my 2 middle numbers. So you can add them both together. You get 24. Divided by 2, you get 12. Or we know that when you look at a number line, if I have 11 and I have 13, 12 is directly in the middle of it. Therefore, 12 is the median. Questions on that? So now to find the IQR, difference is up here we circled the median, right guys?
Yeah.
I don't have 12 to circle here, do I?
No.
So you put a line down the middle where 12 would be to signify you have a lower set. So this is still my lower. And you have an upper set, and this is my upper. It's always broken up by the median. Always. But you can't circle 11 and 13 because 11's not the median and 13's not the median. 12 is. So now you and your partner need to find the first quartile and the third quartile. Go. All right, help me out, guys. What is the first quartile? How'd you get that? So the 9 is the first quartile because I have 8 and 10. 9 is in the middle of 8 and 10. Or if you added the 2 and divided by 2, you would get 9. What about what's the third quartile? You should have told me 15.5 is the third quartile. Because I have 14 and 17, 15.5 is in the middle of the 2, or in this case, it's probably easier to add the 2 up and divide by 2. Questions so far? If you have not found the interquartile range, please find it. Otherwise, how do we find it, everyone?
15.5 minus 9.
Take that 15.5, your third quartile, subtract it by 9, your third quartile, and what do we get, everyone?
6.5.
And 6.5 is your interquartile range. Questions? That's one with an odd set of numbers, one with an even set of numbers. How are we feeling?